Hello, everyone. Welcome to my amazing case study today. My wonderful, amazing client slash friend slash colleague, Dionnie Wynter Pfunde. Yes. We've got to have like some sort of audio hand clapping, standing ovation at this point. How are you today, Dionnie?
I am fabulous. How are you, Dr. Shaw?
Sure. I am great. I am great. I'm so excited that our schedules finally align and we're sitting here and we're talking about your amazing work in the world and what we have done together, with your business. But before all of that, I know we're going to be talking about Willa 2024 and all of that. Let's Excuse me, sorry, my phone would ring in the middle of recording. And no, I'm not going to cut it out. I'm just
We
letting you
can
know.
say hello again because that's a blooper. Back in the day, that was called a blooper, which was a good thing. We are human. You're a busy woman. You're a
Yes,
boss of bosses. The phone is going to ring.
right. That's actually the news media that I just sent to voicemail, but it's okay. I will call her back. But I do want to focus on you right now and what you're doing in the world. So let's start off by you telling everyone, what is it that you do?
Oh, gosh, I make an impact. I change lives. I am living my calling. When I am not doing that, I'm an attorney at law. But if I want to be remembered as what I do is impacting the lives of others. That's what
Yes.
I impact. I impact families. I impact individuals. I'm a woman of change. I'm a disruptor.
Oh, that part. Yes, you are all of those. So tell us all, how do you do that in the world? What
All
is
right.
it that you do?
So I'm an attorney at law. I specialize in United States immigration law. And I know it's a little bit cliche, Dr. Shana, that I'm an immigrant and an immigration law attorney, but I think it was by God's design that I walked in a space that I now get the chance and the pleasure of working in. So I am an immigration law attorney by profession.
Yes. Awesome, and amazing, I must say. So but your walk is a little bit different. And that is why I love that our paths cross. So tell us, how is your walk a little bit different from the regular, schmegular immigration attorney? Because there's a huge difference.
My walk is a little different because I consider myself to be a legal rebel. So grew up on the beautiful island of Jamaica, then migrated to the United States and went on to study and become an attorney. The interesting part of that is that once I became an attorney, I realized that there is a space. There's a space that needed additional folks. And so I created this amazing academy. Some would call it a coaching program. I'm going to call it an academy for non attorneys. So that really sets me apart from most of my colleagues.
Yes, you have truly created what we call in the industry a blue ocean. Hence, your background is blue. It looks oceany, nice and tropical. Yes. And so you support right now, well, I won't say, tell everyone, who do you support in this capacity with the academy?
So in the academy, we support non-attorneys. Yes, you heard me correctly. We support non-attorneys. That is individuals that do not have a law license, neither do they have a law degree, but they have this passion, they have this urge or the desire to serve. So in our capacity in the Winter Immigration Law Academy, we offer them legal support and business guidance.
Love it, love it. And because you started this, you were where you are an attorney and you were serving attorneys, and then you decided to switch. And
Yes.
when you decided to switch, you decided to have what? An event experience. An event experience. So why don't you just share with everyone what your thinking was when you decided that you wanted to have this event, because you had events before, and how you got to connect with me.
Love it, love it. So I've had events before, and by no way will I call what we did in Will Alive 2023 comparison to the events. I thought I'd had events before, right? I had gatherings. So prior to having the event experience, we'd had some smaller events where, we'd either be at a private home, we'd rent out a space, invite a couple people in and have conversations around, yes, you can do this, yes, you should do this. But the event experience, which Will Alive 2023, that was the pinnacle of anything I've ever done, not only in my career as with the Immigration Law Academy, but in my career even as an attorney. That was the biggest thing I've ever done.
Right, right. And we had a blast. So now you were at an event and then you saw me, correct?
That is correct. So I knew I wanted to do an event, and I didn't know what that event should be, what it should look like, what it meant. So I spent about a year traveling the country, just going to every event. Anybody that I respected as a speaker, as a coach, I made sure I started getting into their space. And so I ended up at the Ritz-Carlton Pentagon City for an event. And I won't name names. And I saw this person she's walking around the room. She's wearing all black. She's in charge. Who is this woman? Who is she? And that is where I saw the Dr. Shauna Scott.
Thank you. And I'm so glad that we connect, Pat, and that you were able to attend that event. And right after that event, maybe a month, maybe not even a month, you reached out, we connected because you were already planning Wheel Alive 2023, and we started working together. And I will say this about you and why, and this is one of the reasons I truly, truly believe that your event was so successful, was because you put that level of energy out. You did not waste time. You were like, boom, what is it that I need to do to bring you on board? You called your hubby and it was done. Action taker. And what really stood out about you, you weren't the traditional speaker like I always see. You had this school and you came to me, and I remember the first call we had, you said, Dr. Shauna, I want to make $1 million. And what was a little unique about this is that you did not have an offer at that time.
No.
You did not have an offer. You had not made $1 million in that business, which you do have a business that you had already made over $1 million. But in this side of the business, you did not make $1 million yet, and you did not have an offer. So tell me, when you sit down and you come to someone and you say, hey, I'm having this event and I want to make $1 million like you did at this previous event. Tell me, what were your thoughts?
Gosh, what were my thoughts? Here's the thing. I had not, and let me just clarify. I ran upstairs and grabbed the credit card when you said what you were gonna do, because I was like, I need her. I knew that if I need with the goals and dreams I had, I know I couldn't get myself there. I needed you. So I ran upstairs, grabbed the card. Honey, we're paying for this. This is what we're doing. So my thoughts, one of the things, I was a fool to the space. I'm not from a coaching business, like you said. I'm not a traditional speaker, but I knew in my firm it had taken me so long to bring that to a 7-figure business annually. And I just knew it, like anybody's business, that if I, with this new business, I did not want to spend the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years trying to figure out how to get it to 7 figures. And so when I brought you on board, I said, Dr. Shauna, this is what I want. I want to be able to have a 7-figure event. One, I wanted to etch my name in this space. And I also wanted to show that we can serve at this very high level. So a lot of that was out of ignorance, out of not knowing.
Yeah, absolutely. But one thing that you did have as an entrepreneur, as a woman in business, you knew what you wanted and you had your eyes on the prize the entire time. So let's move forward to us working together. Some of our first conversations, we never really talked about the event. We focused on the offer. Well, you did tell me what your vision was,
Yes.
and we worked on that in the background. But I knew whenever, if we were going to hit the high revenue that we spoke about, we needed to have an offer. So, do you mind sharing about what we did on the offer that was maybe a little bit unique from what you are,
Yes.
than what you've seen before?
Yes. So you created the offer like there. So
Well, it evolved. It hits
it
its
evolved.
pinnacle there.
Right. We had an offer, but I think each time I would come to you and with your guidance, you're like, okay, this is where we're going. And I remember you said something to me, and I don't know if you remember this. You said, get the right people in the room. And I
Yes.
think that's what separates you, because that's when you think about that, that's not an event planner. You were like, get the right people in the room, we'll close them.
And
We will.
left and right, left
Let you
and
said
right.
it, and it was such a powerful statement to me that I understood my assignment. I knew that you work your magic, but outside of that, leading up to D-Day, to the day of the event, the surveys, I can't tell you, you would come back with a survey because you needed to know the audience and you needed to know what's in the gap. These were terms that I learned from you over the year. What are they looking for? So we didn't
Are they aligned?
are they aligned? So we didn't just create an offer and threw it up and hoped people bought it. We created this really unique offer with your guidance as to what could serve, what could convert, what people would be attracted to, what people would keep coming back. And that's still the offer we created at Will Alive. That's still our top selling offer to this day. Like nothing's changed about it. Have we improved upon it? Maybe, but it's the same bare bones offer, not bare bones, but the same muscle, the same offer that we created for Will Alive.
Absolutely. Because what actually happened, because when we worked together, the initial offer was a baby and it evolved. We worked together, we test the market, we identified, we looked at who we thought our target market was, got the surveys, refined that,
Mhm.
got with the ads team and the marketing team, and then they reached out and they did their thing with reaching the right people and got them to where they needed to go. But here's a moment of how the evolution of your offer happened. um I don't know if you remember, I was in Tampa and we were doing a site inspection.
Mhm.
Remember, we went to this elaborate dinner, this fabulous, no, it was brunch,
Mhm.
fabulous brunch that we sat down at. And in the car, when you were taking me to the airport, you shared with me your heart. You said, well, I won't say everything because it's still kind of like
Cheer,
an
cheer.
evolution.
I want to hear. I want to hear.
Yeah, but you said that you had this vision of these annexes because the offer was not the annex. It did not become the annex until, what was it, like an hour before you were going to
Yes.
get the offer, right? We had, you said that, and I don't know what happened. And I told you right there in the car, I was so aligned. That just felt right. You shared with me your vision. And but at that time, that was a next step. That was the
Mhm.
phase
Mhm.
two or phase three step. We were still working on the offer, testing the market. And when we got to the event, one of the things that, and I'll share with everyone, one of the things that I do at the event is not just the logistics. I am talking to the attendees, getting to know them, getting to know what they want, so on and so forth. And in our morning meeting, while you were getting your makeup done, we said, along with Ruben, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Let's
do
do
it.
it.
So that the offer actually when we went there was like, what was it? Like 20,
20 something or 30 something
20
thousand.
something or 30 something.
Yes.
And we knew that we had the right people in the room for that top tier offer. And
Mm-hmm.
even though the annex was like the upsell,
Mm-hmm.
we decided right then and there that that needed to be the flagship. And it is now your flagship offer. And how much money did we generate that day?
We generated in revenue $1.375 million. And let me share, you came on board with less than a year left to go on event. I don't know if you recall this. You were not there for 2 years or 3 years planning this event.
Oh,
You
that's right. It was,
Yes.
yes, it was not a year.
Yes, you didn't have a year to execute this. Remember?
That's right.
Was
It
you're
was
here, this is what we've done so far, this is it, this is and you're like, let's just pull it together. And just the weekly meetings, the check-in calls, just handling some of the come ups, like things that would come up. I mean, yeah, you were there in under less than a year to execute this mission.
awesome, and thank you. I'm very much grateful for you. Just I mean, because this was a cold, well, not really cold, sort of kind of cold. You didn't know who I was. You didn't hear about me in the industry. You saw me in action.
Mhm.
You connected with me with one of the speakers. We got on a call. You ran upstairs to get your credit card. Let me talk to my husband. Hold on.
That was it. Don't go. Stay right where you are, because success loves speed. Success
Right,
loves
right,
speed.
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, with that being said, just a couple of more questions. During the event, because just like you said, we didn't have a whole year. We were working on the event marketing, working on the avatar, working on the offer, and working on this amazing event. Um, what were your thoughts and your feelings at the event? And what were the thoughts and feelings of your attendees?
Um, I had never seen anything like this. The experience, the attention to detail, the little things that I would not have, I would, there were some things that I saw that I would not have even thought about. Let's talk about the champagne dress. Like the things that just led to having this amazing experience. First of all, the attendees were blown away. I was blown away. So it was not just an event, it was an experience. From the moment somebody checked into the hotel, checked into the venue, the experience began all the way until they checked out of that hotel.
Absolutely.
All the entire way, it was an experience.
Absolutely. And I appreciate that. I love working with your community. They are absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So we're well connected with them. And I think that matters when you have an event conversion strategist. We were able to handle a lot of the concerns because remember there were some people that were trying to get into the hotel. The hotel was no longer 199 per night. It was like 2500 per night. Oh, and they were trying to get in there. We handled all of those issues as well as some of the event content. We were able to support you with coming up with high converting
Yeah.
ideas. You want to mention some about what we've done with that?
All right. So, for example, it would be my time to speak, or I was speaking next. You would be guiding the narrative, if you may. Hey, this is where we need to go, because your hand was on the pulse of the event. Your hand was on the pulse of the audience. So it was almost having this magician walking around and saying, "This is where we need to go. This is what we need to do. This is what your audience is seeking." What I see a lot of times, we have these events, Dr. Shauna, and we just go there and we're just going through the program that we have planned. This is what we have planned. Let's get through it. Let's get out of here. This event was really like, it was like a tennis match. Okay, serve. This is what we need to do. Serve. This is where we need to go. So all of that was a part of your strategy. Like I said, I would not have thought about it. I would have just stayed to the script. Let's follow this. Let's break this down. But you came in and you say, look, let's massage this topic, right? Because the audience probably needs to go here. So from start to finish, you contributed to this experience.
Yes, and I love it. I love it. I'm so excited. I'm just thinking about what happened in that room. It was really, really magical. And it took a team. It took a team. You know, you were on stage, Ruben on stage, and then me in the background
Yeah.
talking to the different attendees as they walk back and forth. The graduation, we supported with putting
Yes.
in, yeah, remember that? They thought, we can't even tell them about that. We don't even have time to tell them about the whole graduation
The
thing. That
song.
was great. That's right. The song, the contract,
Oh,
and
the
all
pledge.
the pledge. That's right. That's right.
Yes.
The pledge,
Experience.
and that was an intentional, interactive activity that we knew that would ground them in moving forth, at least the majority of the room.
Mhm, mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
so really excited about that. And so, with that being said, we knew I know we had a great time working together, and you decided to come back.
I
So tell
did.
me, what was the reason why you decided to come back?
I trust you. I trust you because one, my success was so important to you. There was a point when I was like, "Oh, you treated this event as if it was your own. Like the success of this event was on your shoulders. You treated it like it was your own." And so I developed this level of trust to the point I'm like, talk to Dr. Shauna because I know, first of all, you treated it like this was your baby also. And the both of us are responsible for this baby to get it to a toddler. And so whatever happened, you were gonna be there. So for me, it was a no-brainer that I was gonna come back to you for year two. It's not like I had to sit and think about it. It was like, okay, we're gonna do this again, Dr. Shauna. When and where? What do I need to sign? Send me the contract. Let's do it.
Right, right. And we appreciate that. We appreciate that. So, with that being said, I just want to say thank you so much,
Yeah.
Dionnie, for coming on and just sharing with the world. Because I know we worked together and we didn't have an opportunity to really sit down and just say, "Hey, this is some of the items." Because we still had some more items. I think it was like 6, 7 months of work, not under a year, but 6, 7 months of
Mhm.
work that we've done together. And it was very, very successful. And I will say what led to the success was you brought your rocket power. I brought my rocket power. We had exactly, we shot to the top. So it wasn't like, okay, here, Deanna, you're coming with your rocket power, and I got some kerosene
Mhm.
or some
Same thing.
gasoline.
Yes.
We both brought, and that is what was needed because what we didn't say, for those of you who didn't know, it was 1.375, but it was only less than 30 people in the room.
Yes.
And but our goal was like 100, right? Do you
Mhm.
remember what happened when you
Yes.
were like biting your thumb, your fingers, and you was like, Dr. Shauna, oh my God, we don't have the numbers. And do you remember what I said to you?
You need the right people in the room.
Right. And I said, and I also said, your money's in the room at that
It's in the room. And you kept saying that. I didn't know what you meant. You're like, it's in the
time.
room. It's in the room. And I remember at one point, and I know you got to go, but
No, no, you're
at
fine.
one point you got on stage and you said, there's three or more of you in here. Remember? You went on
Yes.
stage and closed. It was like a repitch. I'm like, where's Dr. Shauna? You were on stage really first congratulating those, but saying, look, there's some more in the room because the whole room had grown to trust you and you had become an integral part of the event. And so you weren't like a fly on the wall. You were a part of this event. And you got up there and you said, the money's in the room. It's in the room.
And it was in the room, even with those numbers. And I do remember getting on stage and saying, hey, there's more people in here. And what did they do?
walked to the stage,
Get to the
crying,
stage.
crying, crying for this opportunity,
Yeah.
crying.
Yeah. I mean, I just, we worked together, we built the brand, together. I will say this. Remember when you were like, oh, we need to call it Legal Rebels. And me and Ruben said what?
No, no, I'm like, they're legal rebels. And not everybody wants to be a legal rebel. Like, oh, I'm a
Yeah.
legal rebel. It's a thing, Dr. Shauna. It's a thing.
It it's a thing, it's a movement, but
It's a
we
movement.
were like, she was like, "Oh, we want to be called rebels," because remember we took the brand quiz. You took the brand quiz
Mhm.
that we gave, and you came up as a rebel, and you was like, "That's it." And I'm like, "Okay, well, what are we going to call the community?" And he was like, "Rebels," and me and Drew were like, "No, no, 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 no." Now we're all bearing it.
Like legal rebels.
And look at you, you have this amazing pin on. You
And
want to tell us a little bit
this
about?
was all you, the Willa pin. It's the pin that whenever anybody buys an annex at $75,000, they get pinned. It's an official thing. Doesn't matter where you are. We come out and we pin you. It's a Dr. Shauna pin, guys. She came up with this. And now everybody wants a pin.
Everybody wants a pin.
I wear my pin, and I made sure I had it on today just to show you how much we appreciate the little things, because you would think after the event we'd walk away from stuff like this. No, still a part of the brand, still a part of the brand.
The community still are, and I even remember we worked on the design of that. You got the cute little birds and the meanings of
Yeah.
that. So I really do feel like that was my baby as well. Surrogate, but still a mommy. And
Yeah.
I'm so excited about Willa 2025. So you want to just tell us a little bit about when and where
All
that
right,
is?
so we're back on board for Willa 2025. Our goals are three times the amount. Our goals are $3 million, and we brought Dr. Shauna back on board along with her amazing team. And so it's Rocket Fuel plus Rocket Fuel. We're gonna take over. We're taking over. We are taking over.
You're taking over, and
Taking
I'm
over.
so excited. We're in the midst of designing the entire
Yes.
event campaign. I'm excited about it, and you all will be seeing us. So, Dionnie, I'm going to return your day back to you. I know you have a lot to do. Thank you, and we will see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.